And here I think it's really one of the most interesting number measurements from that data set. All the shoes are within Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex, and today it's again that time of the year. It's carbon data time, Q3. So the presentation and the breakdown with many data, metrics, and other scoring systems of all the plated shoes, carbon plated and not carbon plated, that released during the quarter, and this is Q3 2021. We have 5 shoes today. So very quickly, we have the Puma Deviate Elite, the New Balance RC Elite V2 London. I know I presented this one in Carbon Data Time Q2, but this is my true to size and it changes a bit the assessment. The Craft CTM Carbon Race Rebel, the Skechers SpeedFreek and the Mizuno Wave Rebellion. Quick disclaimers, all these shoes were sent to me by Puma, by Top for Running, our EU partner, at which you can find some of these shoes with my discount code, and you find the information in the description. By Craft, and those 2 shoes were sent to me by Skechers and Mizuno via Road Trail Run for my written reviews in Road Trail Run. The links are in the description. As always, in these Carbon Data Time videos, we'll begin with the stats and metrics. Then we'll go to the one-word section, then we'll do the points, and at the end I will give you my recommendations in terms of which shoe is best for each type of runner, so stay tuned for that at the end of the video. But first of all, the stats, and let's begin with the weight. The Puma Deviate Elite is the lightest at 205 grams. Then we have the SpeedFreek 227, RC Elite 238, 247 for the CTM Race Rebel, and 271 heaviest shoe is the Wave Rebellion from Mizuno. Stack heights, quite interesting. We have 4 millimeters of drop in the SpeedFreek, 34 in the heel, 30 in the forefoot. Then we have 2 shoes at 8 millimeters of drop, and these 2 shoes are the Deviate Elite 3628 and the RC Elite V2 3931 in the forefoot. CTM Race Rebel is 11 33 22 in the forefoot, and Wave Rebellion is 10, 37 and a half, 27 and a half in the forefoot. So as you can see, differences of drop. This can be interesting for you if you're looking for a specific drop in a shoe for your racing shoes or fast training type of shoes. You can pick a different drop in these shoes that released during Q3. Width of the platform, very interesting. We have literally 4 shoes that are pretty much exactly the same or very similar. You have the numbers on your screen, and so these are these 4 shoes, and the narrowest shoe in this review, in this Carbon Data Time, is the Puma Deviate Elite. Especially in the forefoot and in the midfoot, the Deviate Elite is the most narrow shoe out of these. Durometer score, I know this is what many of you are expecting. Quick reminder in terms of foams, here for the midsoles we have Nitro PBA, so nitrogen-infused PBA here in the Deviate Elite, nitrogen-infused TPU for the RC Elite V2, supercritical EVA for both the CTM Race Rebel and the SpeedFreek, and regular PBA, well, it's not regular because it's bio-sourced and made out of castor beans, so it's quite an interesting process for the Wave Rebellion. Numbers, we have 1 shoe that is way softer than the rest in terms of number at least, and that's the RC Elite V2. Then comes the Deviate Elite, quite close, but still there's a gap in terms of number on the durometer scale between these 2 shoes. And these 3 shoes, quite interestingly, are in the same ballpark, 30, 32 on the durometer scale. Same here, you have the numbers on your screen. Now let's jump into another section, the metrics that I measure with my RunScribe pods. And as you will see in the footage, this time I tested all the shoes during the same session on the treadmill, and I took them at 3:35 per kilometer. That is about 6:30 or 6:20 per mile, somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, this is my half marathon pace, I believe, somewhere there. And I think those shoes are meant to go fast, so I tested them at higher paces. Responsiveness, the most responsive shoe for me was the Puma Deviate Elite, and for that, of course, we're looking at ground contact time, and the least responsive shoe was the Skechers SpeedFreek. The difference though isn't huge. So all the shoes are pretty responsive, which is sort of normal for plated race day shoes, but still interesting to see some minor differences, Deviate Elite being the most responsive. Bounciness, same here, Deviate Elite is the bounciest shoe, and the least bounce is with the SpeedFreek. So, you know, it makes quite sense to have a correlation between responsiveness and bounciness, and Deviate Elite again is the bounciest. Quite interesting as well to see that the three other shoes, RC Elite V2, CTM Race Rebel and Wave Rebellion, are in the same ballpark in terms of bounciness, which is surprising because, you know, the RC Elite feels way bouncier than the two others, but still, numbers do not lie, so it's good to check that those numbers and see what they tell us. Then we have efficiency. Efficiency is essentially the amount of energy that you put in your gait cycle, each step to you know, propulse you forward and to produce speed. And here I think it's really one of the most interesting number measurements from that data set. All the shoes are within 3 watts, which is, you know, a margin of error, and we could almost say that they're all as efficient as the others. It's not a coincidence. I checked, I wanted to be sure, so I did some other tests to cross-check and make sure that my numbers were not flawed. They're not, and yeah, all the shoes are as efficient. So this is really interesting, and this is very different from the others carbon data time that we did on the channel. By the way, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate, like it. It does really help the channel to keep growing. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this one. And if you're watching this on the day it releases, so Saturday, October, I believe the 9th, then you can tune in tomorrow. On Sunday, I will do a live stream to answer all of your questions about carbon plated shoes that released basically during Q1, Q2 and Q3 2021. So tune for that. I think that will be quite interesting tomorrow. Live stream on the channel, I think that will be 5 p.m. or 5:30, but you can set a reminder on YouTube on the channel. 5 p.m. being Central European time, so 11 on the East Coast in the US, if that makes sense for you across the Atlantic. Pronation and Pronation Velocity. So this can assess how stable these shoes are. And here, again, very interesting, the Puma Deviate Elite seems to be the most stable shoe, which is very surprising to me because the most stable shoe in terms of feel, I would have said either RC Elite or CTM Race Rebel, but I have the lowest pronation value with the Deviate Elite. So this is really interesting. The highest number, and this is very surprising as well, because like I just said, and like you will see in the dedicated review of the CTM Race Rebel, you know, this shoe feels very stable to me. And yet it has the highest pronation angle. So it means that I'm pronating most with this shoe compared to the others. Quite interesting. Same here, you have the numbers on your screen. Pronation Velocity, for those of you who are new on the channel, welcome. And Pronation Velocity, so again, I'm gonna say what I say about pronation every time. Pronation is not bad, it's a good protection mechanism developed by our body. Pronation is really not a bad thing, you have to keep that in mind. Pronation velocity though can be interesting to assess the injury risk. The higher the pronation velocity, the more injury risk you have. And here, the lower number in terms of angular speed, so pronation velocity, is with the RC Elite V2. And this makes sense because, as I said a few minutes ago, this is a shoe that feels stable, and I believe it's interesting for people who are milled pronators or even over pronators and are looking for a first carbon plated shoe. We'll come back to that in the recommendations, but this can be the right choice for you. Highest number, CTM Race Rebel. This is the shoe with which I have the fastest pronation. So, you know, quite interesting and surprising. Also interesting to see that in both pronation and pronation velocity, the SpeedFreek and the Wave Rebellion were actually quite high, despite being different foam technologies and different geometries. But those two shoes are actually quite high again on the, in those numbers. Last but certainly not least, leg pounding, and that is measured with shock. So we have the least leg pounding and the least shock with the SpeedFreek. So this is the most you know, leg friendly or you know, leg pounding friendly shoe. This is the SpeedFreek. And the highest number, sorry, is with the CTM Race Rebel. Same here, quite a surprise for me. Frankly, you know, you will see the review of the CTM Race Rebel. It will publish on the channel very soon. But this shoe, doesn't feel at all as the numbers may suggest in terms of pronation velocity and shock. This is completely different from what it feels, but still very, very interesting. This is it for the numbers. Now let's go to the second section of the video. One word, so I will give you one word at a time to describe each shoe. Let's begin with the Wave Rebellion. I think it feels dense or heavy, but I would go with dense. SpeedFreek is aggressive. CTM Race Rebel, I would say ultra. And you know, you can check the CTM Race Rebel review when it publishes. You will understand why I'm saying this. RC Elite V2 comfort. Deviate Elite. It's not one word, but something like love at first sight or crush. It's really a shoe that I like, and I like the rides. Yeah, let's see if it gets the highest number of points in the point section. It's a good segue. Point section of the video. As always, we'll go through the different components of the shoes, and we have 5 shoes, so the best shoe will get 4 points, then 3 points for the second one, 2 for the third. The fourth shoe will get 1 point, and the worst shoe in each segment will get 0 points. Upper, I would go, quite frankly, I think CTM, 4 points for the CTM, then I would say 3 points for the Deviate Elite, 2 points for the RC Elite, and 1 point for the Wave Rebellion. Midsole, I would say 4 points for the RC Elite, 3 points for the Deviate Elite, 2 points for the CTM, and 1 point for the SpeedFreek. Then outsole, I would say 4 points for the Wave Rebellion, 3 points for the CTM, 2 points for the RC, and 1 point for the Deviate Elite. Outsole is grip and durability in the same category. Ride, 4 points Deviate Elite, 3 points RC Elite, 2 points CTM Ultra, and 1 point SpeedFreek. Yeah, very easy in the order they're presented. Stability, this is tricky, I would say 4 points RC Elite, 3 points despite the number CTM Ultra Race Rebel, sorry, CTM Race Rebel, 2 points Wave Rebellion, and 1 point Deviate Elite. Laces, 4 points RC Elite V2, 3 points Deviate Elite, 2 points Wave Rebellion, and 1 point SpeedFreek. Yeah, that's it for the laces. Fit, 4 points RC Elite, 3 points Deviate Elite, 2 points CTM Race Rebel, and 1 point for the SpeedFreek. Lockdown is tricky. 4 points CTM Race Rebel, 3 points RC Elite, 2 points Deviate Elite, and 1 point SpeedFreek. Why is that? I have some issues in the heel with the Wave Rebellion, just so you know, and that's impacting a bit the lockdown score. Price, we're looking at $200, $225, $250, $205, and $180. So 4 points for the Wave Rebellion, 3 points for the Deviate Elite, 3 points for the SpeedFreek, and 1 point for the RC Elite V2. This one is the most expensive, and stay tuned for the review. Again, here you will have my opinion about the price of this shoe. Quite interesting, especially when compared to the CTM Ultra, but I'm not saying more, you will find out in the review. This is it for the points, and which one is my favorite shoe? I haven't counted the points, and I will see that during the edit, but I will be frank with you, I really have a bias, or at least a strong preference for the Deviate Elite. Now I know this shoe is sold out pretty much everywhere, and it's a bit a bummer because I would love you to test it out, or at least if you wanted to have the opportunity to test it out. It's sold out everywhere. I hope Puma solves this issue and makes it more available this year or next one. This is really a fun shoe, a great shoe, and it has my preference. Despite me loving the RC Elite V2, this is just next level if you want, at least in this carbon data time. Recommendations. If you're a heavier runner, I would try maybe RC Elite or Wave Rebellion. Light runners, Deviate Elite, SpeedFreek, this. Cadence runner, I think, Deviate Elite makes sense for a cadence runner. Maybe also, to a certain extent, the CTM can be interesting for cadence runner. Stride runners, the New Balance, I think is a pretty solid choice. Yeah, I would say New Balance for stride runners, so runners increasing their stride length more than their cadence at faster paces. Stability people, I think, the scores I gave, so RC Elite or Wave Rebellion, CTM are the most stable shoes in terms of sensations. Now, if you look at the numbers, you could also consider the Deviate, but it's also a more narrow platform, so this impacts a bit the stability. Yeah, this is a bit tricky. Different distances, 5K, 10K, Deviate Elite, I think. Half marathon, you could consider the RC Elite or maybe the SpeedFreek if you're into that more firm forefoot type of ride. Marathon, I would go RC Elite. I hope you enjoyed this Carbon Data Time Q3 2021. There will be a last one in Q4. I don't know if this will be new shoes or a big roundup of all the carbon or at least plated shoes that released in 2021. Let's see, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think, and if you want to chat about those shoes, if you have questions about them or about any other shoe that I reviewed during Q1 or Q2 2021, tune in tomorrow for the live stream, 5 p.m. Central European Time or 5:30. Check on YouTube, you will find out. Thank you very much for being here today. Enjoy your run, enjoy your rides, go beyond your limits, and take care, guys. Bye-bye.